Good morning, afternoon, everyone. Imagine for a moment that your business relies heavily on a critical cloud service, perhaps for customer relationship management, or project collaboration, or even payroll. Now, imagine receiving a terrifying email. It's not from your cloud provider, but from a notorious cyber criminal group. They claim they've breached that very provider, stolen your company's sensitive data, and they demand a ransom directly from you, or they'll leak it to the world. This isn't a hypothetical nightmare scenario anymore. This is the chilling reality of a new, highly effective, and frankly, insidious evolution in cyber extortion, as recently highlighted by Dark Redding in their report on the ShinyHunters threat group. For those unfamiliar, ShinyHunters isn't a new name in the cybercrime world. They've been a persistent and destructive force for years. Their modus operandi, up until recently, was fairly straightforward. They'd breach a company, steal massive amounts of sensitive data, customer lists, financial records, intellectual property, and then sell that data on dark web forums to other criminals. They were data brokers, pure and simple. We've seen them responsible for breaches impacting millions of users across various sectors. They thrived in the shadows, profiting from the theft of digital assets. But like all persistent threats, ShinyHunters has evolved, and their latest evolution is far more aggressive and holds far greater leverage. They're no longer just stealing and selling. They're now focusing on a sophisticated form of supply chain extortion, specifically targeting software as a service, or SaaS, providers. Here's how it works. 1. They compromise the SaaS provider. They find vulnerabilities in the cloud service provider's infrastructure. 2. They steal data belonging to the SaaS provider's customers. This is the crucial distinction. They're not just taking the cloud company's internal data. They're going straight for the gold. Your company's data that you entrusted to that cloud service. 3. And here's the game changer. They don't just demand a ransom from the SaaS provider. They demand a ransom from the SaaS provider. And they directly contact the affected customers, companies like yours, demanding a separate ransom payment from them to prevent the public leak or sale of their stolen data. This is a double-barreled shotgun approach to extortion. It creates an almost impossible situation for everyone involved. So, what makes this new approach so concerning? Why should this keep us up at night? For SaaS providers, this puts them in an incredibly difficult position. Not only do they face the immediate breach and potential financial demands, but their entire business model, built on trust and data security, is shattered. They face immense reputational damage, potential legal liabilities from every single affected customer, and a crisis of confidence that can be incredibly difficult to recover from. Do they pay the ransom? How do they protect their customers? It's a dire ethical and business dilemma. For customers of SaaS providers, we are now effectively victims twice over. We've chosen a cloud service for its convenience and perceived security, only to find our data compromised through their weakness. And now, we're being directly extorted by criminals who hold our data hostage. This completely bypasses our own internal cybersecurity defenses, making it incredibly hard to prevent. It's a supply chain attack with a direct, personal extortion component. It fundamentally shifts who is responsible and who is directly in the firing line. Amplified supply chain risk. We've long talked about supply chain risks, the idea that a weakness in one vendor can compromise many. This takes that concept to a new, highly weaponized level. One successful breach against a popular SaaS provider can lead to dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of direct extortion attempts against their customer base. Think of the recent Ticketmaster breach, where customer data from a cloud provider was stolen. Imagine that turning into direct extortion. Demands for millions of individual customers or for the companies that use Ticketmaster's services for event management. So, given this alarming evolution, what steps can we take? This requires a multifaceted approach. For SaaS providers, 1. Fortify your defenses. Implement the strongest possible security controls. This means multi-factor authentication everywhere, robust access controls, network segmentation, regular penetration testing, and continuous vulnerability management. 2. Data minimization and encryption. Only collect and store the data absolutely necessary. Encrypt data both in transit and at rest. 3. Incident response planning. Develop detailed incident response plans that specifically address how to handle customer data breaches, including clear communication strategies and legal counsel. Transparency and rapid, accurate communication with affected customers will be paramount to rebuilding trust. 4. Zero Trust Architecture. Assume breach and implement, never trust. Always verify principles across your entire infrastructure. For businesses and individuals who use SaaS. 1. Vendor due diligence. Don't just sign up. Scrutinize your SaaS provider's security practices before you commit. Ask tough questions about their security certifications, incident response plans, data encryption, and access controls. This isn't a one-time check. It's ongoing. 2. Data minimization. Are you giving your SaaS provider more data than they truly need? Review what data you store with third parties. 3. Strong internal security. Even though the attack comes through a third party, strong internal security practices, like MFA for all your user accounts, employee security awareness training, and robust endpoint protection, still remain vital for overall resilience. 4. Prepare for third-party breach response. Develop an internal incident response plan that includes scenarios where a third-party vendor is compromised and your data is exposed. How will you notify affected parties? What legal obligations do you have? The ShinyHunters evolution marks a significant and dangerous escalation in cyber extortion. It forces us all to reevaluate our trust models in the cloud and to confront the interconnectedness of our digital ecosystems. This isn't just about protecting our own perimeters anymore. It's about understanding and mitigating risks throughout our entire supply chain. We must embrace a proactive, collaborative approach. SaaS providers must commit to unprecedented levels of security and transparency. And we, as their customers, must demand it and prepare for the inevitable challenges. Only through vigilance, robust defenses, and a commitment to shared responsibility can we hope to navigate this increasingly complex and threatening landscape. Thank you.